Powerful. We were all hashtagging, you gotta sha-lieve. I mean, sha-lieve went viral, which is really what? It's believing.
Yeah, it's believing. So it was very funny because when we first came up with sha-lieve, and it's in the book, is that we was in the car, and I think we picked up my mom or my brother from the airport, and I was in the car, and I kept getting small injuries. My first 2 seasons, I missed 9 games. I think it was more than 9 games. My first 2 seasons when I played, it was very frustrating. And some people will say, hey, Ryan, you know, he's Mr. Glass and this and that. And to me, I actually don't care much about what other people say, but after a while, you know, if people keep knocking you, it can get through. And one day we was in the car, and I was like, man, I'm gonna make everybody believe. I'm gonna make everybody believe in Shazier. And my good friend was like, and my best friend, his name was Jerome. He was like, we're gonna make everybody sha-lieve. And I was like, sha-lieve? And then we was in the car, it's like sha-lieve. It was like self-belief. So it's belief in yourself, but also believe in Shazier. So whenever I made a play on the field, it's like, hey, everybody in Pittsburgh can believe in Shazier to make a play when it's needed. But to me, sha-lieve also means self-belief. Always believe in what you're trying to accomplish. Always believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will.
That's so, like, I love that. That's like the believing in yourself. And I just remember a moment my husband and I were watching you, and I think the whole world was watching. We were in tears during the 2018 NFL draft when you were walking with your wife on stage. Can you take us to that moment and what it meant for you two to just be walking hand in hand and you walking really in front of the world?
Yeah, that was a combination of 2 things. It was very nerve-wracking. And I'm not really a nervous person in front of a lot of people because obviously I play football, but it was really nerve-wracking because that's the farthest I walked from the moment I was doing my rehab. And I had seen Roger Goodell one time in Pittsburgh. I seen him twice, and I told him that I want to be able to, you know, walk at the Super Bowl or walk at the draft. And we discussed it. And one thing I told my trainers is, hey, I told this guy I'm going to do this. So we just put in full gear about how to be able to accomplish that goal. And I started to really focus in on trying to walk. And I was already walking a little bit, but that was the furthest I walked without my canes, without my walker. And just to be able to show so many people I'm getting better and thank you for your prayers, it really meant a lot to me.
You know, Ryan, a lot of people may be walking through difficult situations right now and hardships in their life. Let me ask you this question. How did this help you? How did it help you? What did it change about your thinking? And how did your faith play a role in that?
I think it's multiple ways I can answer that question, but I think the biggest thing is when I was playing, I was a very strong believer in Christ. But I noticed myself starting to stray a little bit. I noticed that I wasn't as focused as I was. And I think it was 2 things that God did. He showed, hey, Ryan, you know, like you said, God's word will prevail. So God decided, hey, Ryan, I'm going to use you to let everybody know, no matter what you're doing, no matter who you are, adversity hits. But I think the Lord used me to show that no matter what hits, we can overcome it. We can fight through this, and we can achieve a goal. So when I got hurt, one thing I definitely did, it was lean more on God. And I had my ups and downs, and if anybody doesn't have ups and downs, then they're not human. Exactly. But I think it really allowed me to focus in and just thank God, because he showed me no matter what and no matter who you are, that you can prevail, you can overcome, and you can help so many people and let them understand that adversity hits, no matter who you are. Everybody's adversities are different, but adversity hits, and through God, you can overcome it. And I think that's one of the things that really helped me understand that God's hand is really over our lives, but also that God has a purpose of me helping others and allowing them to understand no matter the situation that you're dealing with, that it's possible to overcome it. You just got to continue to believe in God.
What men or stories in the Bible did you glean from during this time?
So I don't know if this is really a story in the Bible, but it was a passage that really stuck with me. And I know God is not a big fan of tattoos, but I have a few. And one of the tattoos that I have on myself is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And to me, I really held on to that and just understood no matter what the situation is, I can overcome this situation. No matter how deep the valley is, I can overcome this valley. And that's another passage. I think it's Psalms 28. Though I walk through the valley of death,
I fear no evil.
I will fear no evil. And to me, those are two of the biggest passages that I really focused on, and just continue to believe in, and just know that it really feels like I'm in a really deep valley. But God's gonna allow me to overcome this, and just me believing that I can overcome it will as well.
Yeah.
And I'm sure your dad, being a pastor as well. A lot of people may not know this, but his dad is a pastor, which I thought was really cool. And I'm sure that probably helped a little bit, him throwing a few up for you. Was your dad instrumental in walking you through this process and his faith being that rock for you?
Yeah, my dad is very instrumental just in my life in general. From being a little kid to even now, I was on the phone with my dad probably the whole time I was on my ride here. He's a very, strong human being, and a very, I'm not gonna say positive because he's more of a realist, but he's a very strong man. And one thing that really helped me out was that to see his strength through the adversity that I was dealing with, because my dad told me after I got hurt, and after I got better, he'll say when I got injured, he probably cried 10 times a day, but I didn't see him cry once.
Wow.
And to me, it just shows the strength of him saying, no matter what you're dealing with, Ryan, I'm gonna be right here for you. And it's gonna be tough for me, but I'm gonna show you that I'm gonna be strong for you, and then I'm gonna get away. I'm not get away from you, but I'm gonna leave from the room when I have a weak moment. And I thought it was really strong of him.
Wow.
That's really like one thing I just want to note. I think it's just really powerful. Is like what you're doing now is because what you've walked through. Now you're giving hope to others. Can you talk to us a little bit about your fund that you're helping others with your spinal injuries?
Yeah, so I have the Ryan Shazier Fund for spinal rehabilitation, and it's for helping others that have spinal cord issues, that's going through traumatic injuries like myself. And I try to tell people, a lot of people are trying to learn how to walk again. A lot of people are trying to get independence again. And the average person that has a spinal cord injury may get 30 or 40 sessions of rehab. And this is the example I use. If you only gave somebody 30 chances to learn how to walk as a baby, we'll have a lot of grown-ups still crawling around here. And to me, I just wanted to give people more opportunities, more resources to allow them the ability to get independence again, because I'm able to walk, but I'm not saying that everybody's going to be able to walk again, but there are ways through the injury that you become independent again, that you can enjoy life, and the injury sometimes can strip that away from somebody, and I want to allow people to have that.
Wow. In your book, I was shocked to read the statistics of spinal injuries in the NFL. And you give statistics of the defensive line, offensive line, special teams, and looking back now at those statistics, what goes through your thought as you've seen God's thumbprint on your whole life?
Sometimes those statistics are crazy because you just never know the situation that you'll be in, and they're so small. And for me, it was just really important to understand the statistics, but also understand the power of God, because somebody may say you have 20%, you have 30%, or 1 or 2%.
Right.
But I tell people all the time, only 1% of people made the NFL. Only 1% of the people that made the NFL make the Pro Bowl. Less than 25% of people have alopecia. And I've came through a lot of things in my life, and I've overcame all those things. And to me, I just use those same type of metrics through my life to overcome all the situations that I dealt with, and just continue to believe in myself.
Ryan, you are a champion. You're an overcomer.
Amen.
You are a walking miracle, and we celebrate you and honor you, what God has done in your life. Any last words to somebody who has been hit with something really traumatic in their life recently, and they feel like there's no hope? What would you say?
The biggest thing I would tell somebody that's going through something traumatic is just lean on God, but just also understand that no matter what you're dealing with, you have to believe in yourself as well. Most people, when they're going through a tough situation, it's really hard for them to think, what's the positive out of this? How can I overcome this? But one thing you have to really focus in is how you can get through this, how you can overcome this, and just God is big.